So welcome to town. How's everybody feeling? You feeling okay?
Feeling good. We had our first show last night, so a little bit tired. It's a bit early. Bit early. We're night owls, so.
Now, let me ask you this. I mean, I saw the show in Oklahoma City, and I was talking to Jeanette, and she said, basically, if you ask every dancer on the show, they've got something that's hurting. I mean, it's a physically demanding show. I mean, how do you deal with that?
Well, a lot of massages. We get into a big bucket of ice after every show to stop any inflammation.
I saw that. That's the freakiest thing. Is that painful? I mean, you describe what that is.
It's horrible. It's a big, like that big bucket of ice, and we just stand in it for, well, most of us don't do enough. We're told it's supposed to be about 7 minutes of standing in there. Most of us don't do that long. But yeah, we have to get in there and, yeah, like I said, massages all the time and just looking after any injuries. I had, last year I went through shin splints and stress fractures and things in my shins. And totally unrelated to normal show injuries, in the rehearsals yesterday, I nearly fell down underneath the stage.
No! We almost lost Kevy, completely.
Yeah, the front of the stage, there's like this cloth with all the wires going in front, and we were kind of rehearsing the beginning of the show where we all come through the audience, and I just stepped my foot past the wires and went down. I thought there was going to be some floor to land on, but the floor was like 2 floors down, 2 stories down underneath the stage, and I was just hanging on like on the edge of a cliff. And yeah, I kind of scraped my leg through all of that, but you know.
That's definitely workers' comp right there.
Yeah, the show went on.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't know it sitting in the audience last night. So how, the ice experience for you, Giselle?
You know what? It's amazing because after about 30 seconds, I could probably sit in there for a long time. You'd be surprised how you just, after 30 seconds, you just go numb. And you guys are like, I'm having like whole conversations, and I'm like, oh, I'm still in this thing. So it's really great. It's just like a little reset button, and it just puts your legs back to reset.
Now, and you guys are here for 2 weeks. I know a lot of cities you're just there for a week. Are there advantages of being somewhere, not having to pick up and move on?
Yes, we can actually unpack, hang things up. Here we have little apartments, which are fantastic. Even though the apartments are a little bit in the 70s, that's okay.
Really?
We'll take it because it's got a kitchen and a refrigerator, so we can actually go shopping, like just almost have somewhat of a normal existence.
Yeah, well, that's it. We can actually kind of settle into a place, and we have a kitchen where we can actually make food. Not that I make food, I get someone else to make food.
Well, wait, you're not, Kev's not a good chef, is that what we're
Not
saying?
at all. I think he'd burn water. Do you even know how to?
Really?
You could probably do anything that has a kettle. It's just like, where's the kettle?
I make mean Pop-Tarts.
Oh, Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
And you toast them, though.
And the toaster.
Oh yeah, I just eat them cold.
I did see you try and do something in the microwave once, and I think it wasn't pretty, so.
You know, something else I realized in seeing the show in Oklahoma City is that, I mean, not only is the show just constant movement for 2 hours and very strenuous, but you guys rehearse. Do you rehearse every single day as well?
Yep, we go straight from here to rehearsal. So basically, we're up at 2 o'clock, we're back in rehearsal till the end of the show.
I don't know if stage actors do that, you know, like in typical Broadway musicals. But, I mean, I hear those guys talking about laying around during the day and chilling. Now, yeah, you're hating them?
little, I'm not bitter at all.
Not
at all.
No hate. But, I mean, it's got to be difficult, right?
Yeah, I mean, I did another show before coming back to Burn the Floor, and it wasn't like Burn the Floor at all. We there was no rehearsals apart from to get us into the show initially. The normal run during the day, there was no rehearsals. We'd just turn up for the show each night, which is a lot easier on the body. But at the end of the day, I think that's one of the great things about Burn the Floor is that we're always looking to improve on what we're doing. We're always looking for new ways and trying to be as creative as possible. And also just going over and over our technique so that we're as good as we can possibly be at all times. No one gets any chance to kind of, rest on your laurels. And yeah, I think it's great. As tiring as it is, that's what makes Burn the Floor so interesting and so creative and so fun to be a part of, because you're constantly at it,
I do think that because we are constantly having a rotating cast, like we always have, because there are so many injuries, we are having new people come in and swap places and do different roles all the time. So in one way, it is because we get a lot of, because the show is so physically demanding and taxing on the body, that we have people out a lot. So the show can't go on unless someone else learns that part. So everyone's kind of learning. We're just constantly kind of going like that. So that takes a lot of rehearsal to make sure that the show still stays on point.
Speaking of going like that, we met the wardrobe person in Oklahoma City. The quick change thing, I mean, how crazy is it backstage? Because you guys are off the stage and right back on with a different, I mean.
Costume choreography.
Yeah.
Definitely
it
costume.
Has to be like that backstage, right?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, just the other day, my zipper broke from my corset. And like literally, I had 1 second. I was running up and Catherine came to the rescue. It was like, Catherine, here she comes. And she just like tears it off and gives me a totally another. And I'm just like, oh my God, you're like a goddess. And I made it just in time. So it's chaos backstage sometimes.
And there are dressers back there, aside from Catherine, who's your wardrobe person, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have Catherine and Brett as our main two that are kind of in charge and travel around everywhere with us. And in each city, we have a set of dressers to help us all. And they just get bombarded with us, just running in, throwing everything off, and then, give me this, and like things back on, and then straight out again. It's as much of a show backstage as it is on stage, to be honest. Only tickets will be a bit pricier to see that one, I think.
That's going into a whole new career.
That's a whole new show. Yeah, that's a whole other phase, right?